Hey everybody, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I got another fun Halloweeny DIY for you today. So here I am going to be using these little terracotta pots that you can get at the Dollar Tree. They come into a pack of 2 for $1.25. Um, this is a random one I had used for something else. Had glue on it. I just used my my heat gun to heat up the glue and roll it off, and I'm using it again. I love reusing things from other projects into new ones. I am using the colors Moss from Waverly and then that green acrylic paint, mixing it together to give me the perfect green that I was looking for. I didn't want something too bright, but I didn't want it too flat like the Moss is, so I really like mixing acrylic and chalk paint because you get that nice chalky finish with a little bit of gloss to it, so it actually works out really well. So I'm just going to put a really generous coat of paint all over this little terracotta pot here. I get so into what I'm doing that I totally forget that I'm recording sometimes, so you get it though. I'm painting the thing. So this project is so cute. I did see a picture of this on the interwebs, and it was just like the shot of the face that I'm going to draw on here. So I'm using um, just a paint pen. I got these on Amazon a long time ago. It was like there's 3 white ones, 3 black ones. They work really well. If you don't have paint pens, you could definitely use a Sharpie. I mean, because you'll see later on in the video that I do bust out a Sharpie for this. So, yeah, so if you can't tell, we are going to make a little Frankenstein planter here, little Frankenstein face. So I'm just drawing his little stitches, and um and I just really am like taking my time looking at seeing where I wanted to place it. It's not that complicated. So this little upside down heart is going to be his nose, and um I'm just filling it in. I contemplated using acrylic paint, but honestly, um, I'm not that talented in little tiny sections with a paintbrush. And you could see how I hold the pen like all up close because I really need to have as much control as I can over this because it is such a tiny pot and I'm using a pen and whatever, but you use whatever like makes your heart happy. So if you want to use a Sharpie, go for it. You can use acrylic paint, um, whatever it is that you need to do. But so we're just gonna draw this whole. Um, Now I'm working on the mouth part. If you don't know, when you use paint markers, you have to like sometimes you have to like redab the I don't know what to call that. Is it a wick? I mean, it's not a wick like a candle, but the little where the ink comes out. Got to dab it every once in a while to get it um going again, but um yeah, so I'm working on the mouth here. Making little curlicues on the end, putting in the stitches. I wanted to have one going up and one going down. And then this is all preference, like however you want to do it. Like I said, I saw an image online when I was looking for something else. And so I was kind of like, this is super cute. Um, Not my original idea, my version of that idea. But, most of us definitely get inspiration from something else. I love getting inspiration from other places, and I love to change things up um, to fit my decor and my style. So that's what I'm doing here. Just gonna check on her out. Um, so I made a lady Frankenstein, a Franken lady, as you will. Um, so you could you could do whatever you want. So this is the important part right here, and I left this in um, because I want you to see my fails, so that maybe you won't make the same mistake when you're doing yours. So I drew the squiggles on first instead of putting the base color of the yellow for the eyes. So hindsight 2020, if I were to do this again, um, I might put the yellow, like a yellow circle first, and then go, once it's dry, go over it with the black marker. Um, because as you see me working on this here, you're going to see that um, it was hard to get there and not smear the black into the yellow. And then at some point in the very near future, I bust out the yellow acrylic paint, but it wasn't this vibrant yellow that I was looking for. This is another paint marker that I'm currently using. So here we go. So you see me bust out the acrylic paint because I'm like, it's not as bright as I want it to be, but that yellow was too pastel-y. And honestly, how was I going to go in the squiggles with an acrylic with that without, really just stretching myself farther than I was willing to go, honestly. So that's why I left this in here. And, I've been crafting for many, many years. And when I come up with something that I'm going to work on, I get so excited. I just jump right in. I don't necessarily think it out beforehand. I just kind of go in all willy-nilly and just let it happen. So it doesn't always work out to the best, but I make the best of the situation. So see what I'm saying? Like, you could see the yellow on here, and it would have been smarter to put the yellow down first. So when you make one of these, put the yellow first. Definitely. I love my little heat gun. I picked this up at Amazon. I have a really cute pink one, although I cannot locate it because your girl is unorganized. So here I am with my Arteza paint markers in the thicker version, which um, works out really well. And I love these markers. And let me tell you, I've had them for like 2 years and they're still kicking. I mean, I love them. They sat in a garage for a year not being used and they still work. So that just lets you know the quality of Arteza. Although the same thing is with the first black paint pen that I used. They're just super generic paint pens that I got off of Amazon probably, I don't know, 2, 3 years ago. Never opened the box because if you followed me for any amount of time, you know that I love craft supplies and buy them all the time. So yeah. So I'm going to re-put my squiggles in. And then I'm going to work on kind of giving it a little like, oh, I'm so tired. I need my coffee look. Um, and so I added the gray underneath as kind of a base just to give another layer of texture and color. And so this is where I'm making her look real tired. And I'm just going to let you watch this part because it's just, it's all personal preference. You do what you want. Um, and you figure out, what works best for your design. You could totally do a totally different color, maybe a more bluish one. It could be a zombie. Ooh, that's cute. Maybe I'll make a zombie one because these actually came out really cute because I do this one and I do another one, which coming up very soon, and you'll be able to see the next little design I make. Now, the person or the image that I saw in Google, um, it was a Frankenstein with like for a legit planter, like it had plants inside of it. But I wanted to do something a little different. So we're going to make this into um, just a little pot with a candle on top. I'm taking the white here. So this is the white from that package of Amazon markers that I got. And I'm just adding the little drops to give it more of that cartoony look. Because, I like real whimsical, fun designs here. And so I just thought I'd add that in for another layer of texture, another layer of some fun. So when you see I winged out her eyes, that's when I knew she was a girl. I'm like, oh, I winged out her eyes. She had to have her eyeliner on. And I'm just going to highlight around her eyes to give her some more pop. And yeah, but definitely you could do, this however you like. This is just the concept. And I changed it up to be my very own idea by making her into girl with her little winged liner and turning it into a candle. Isn't she cute? I love her. So here's another thing that I did that I left in because I wanted you to see. Because I was like, wait, for being uh, Frankenstina, we'll call her Frankenstina, I um she was too shiny still, like too smooth, so I had to rough her up. So here I am roughing her up just a tad, wiping off the dust, and then I realized, what did I do? But I took off a ton of the color in her eyes, so now I'm going back and having to redo that. So, paint it green, sand it down. I had pre-sanded it, but it wasn't enough. I needed to do a little bit more. So, paint the green, really take a look at it, sand it down, then do your stitches and your nose and your mouth, and then paint the yellow for the eyes, and then do all the accenting after. So doing the swirls and the white and the however it is that you choose to do it, so that way you don't have to keep doing this over and over again. This project honestly should have taken me 20 minutes. It took me a lot longer than that. But I find crafting extremely therapeutic. So, there you go. Getting my therapy session in today by crafting. Actually, I've had a blast, guys. Honestly, recrafting for you. And I'm so glad that I'm here to do it again. And I hope you guys are loving it just as much. Make sure that, if you're liking this video and you're liking my videos, comment down below. Comments help me so much grow my channel, get my activity back. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed before. And make sure to like and share. So this is floral foam that I have used before in another project, but your girl likes to save everything because honestly, I just don't want to throw that away. It's perfectly good. So I'm going to glue some into the bottom of my little pot here. I think this project would be so fun on a way bigger scale. And this is probably the best time of year to start looking for that, like, because everything's going on clearance for summer. Like, I was in Joann's today and their summer decor is 80% off. So this would be a good time to hit up some of those stores right there to find bigger pots for dirt cheap. So I just added some more hot glue and then we're back with the moss again. I wanted to keep my theme solid across the way, so we're going to use a lot of green moss and everything. And I think she looks adorable. You could have totally left it like this, maybe plopped a succulent in the top if you wanted to. But I had to make her do something else. So originally I was just going to kind of pile them in there to be a little bit of color, almost like brains sitting on the top, which is cute. But I changed my mind, so you'll see. Because, that's the fun thing about crafting, and that's the fun thing about you crafting, is you change it up and make it however you want. So these little ornaments is what they are from the Dollar Tree. They just come in a package. You get a bunch in a package for $1.25. Again, these are from last year, but they've had them every year for as long as I can remember. But these are just the small ones. And so I picked two of each color and two different designs. You see that there's glitter, the ribbed ones, and then like the little disco ball looking ones. So this is when I decide, I want to change this up a little bit. So I pull out that middle one. I have a set of these black tea light candles from the Dollar Tree, and I thought that would be so cute. So I turned it into a little candle. I shoved that into the center. So now, and I'm just going to like push them over so I could fit fit that last one in. And now it looks like she's wearing a crown, which I think is even cuter than my original idea. And that's it for Frankenstina. She is um, rocking her sparkly crown. Oh, and of course, she had to have a spider in her hair. Um, so that works out real well. And it's sparkly. And here she is. I think she's so cute. Let me know down below what you think of her, what you would change, what you would add, all that good stuff. So now we're going to make a second one. So I pulled one pot out of the little package I had. This is just basic white acrylic paint. If you have chalk paint, you can use that. Spray paint would work. You want to cut some time down, use some spray paint. They even have like chalky, like farmhouse style spray paint. So that would be real cute on this as well. So I'm just going to put again a very generous coat of white paint all over this little planter. So I learned from the first time. I'm over here sanding down and roughing up the paint a little bit because again, it's not supposed to be perfect. So this could be one of two things. Is it a ghost? Is it a mummy? Which one do you think it's going to be? So here's me using a Sharpie because the line would be thicker. So that's what I was going for. So I am just going to make my bandages. So if you guessed mummy, that's right. So I'm just going to make bands around the planter here. These don't have to be perfect. Mummies are wrapped all different kinds of ways. So by all means, do this however that you would like to do. I just wanted mine to be like this, so that's what I ended up doing. And I filled in a couple areas to give it a little bit more depth, like you could see where the bandages might be coming undone or whatever. And then I'm going to take some black acrylic paint and I'm going to make the bands around the top. So like I'm considering the top to be a band, the ring right there a band, and then around the bottom. And the messier the better because it just looks more spooky and authentic, like how a mummy would be, because I couldn't imagine you could wrap a mummy perfectly. Or maybe you did when they were first wrapped, and then when they come alive and come after you, from all the moving, their little bandages have loosened up. That was way more of a story than you probably wanted to hear, but yeah. So I am just gonna go around and I'm gonna deepen some of the areas in the wraps to make them look, give them more of that movement, and then I'm adding the band around the bottom. So I am sanding this back a little bit. Um, again, before I add the eyes and the mouth on here, so that way it does have a little bit of a roughed up look, just to give it more of a, an aged look. I thought about adding some, like you totally could add a little bit of antique wax here and there, but I just thought I'd keep him white with the bandage stripes around him. So I drew the mouth on and forgot to record that part. So here I am back with my paint pen, and I'm just going to do like half eyes. At first I was going to do bigger ones, but then I thought this would be cute of them kind of peeking out of the bandage there. And then it's a lot of space to fill in, so I decided to use, I call it my half moon brush because, see when you lay it down, it kind of just goes to that shape anyways. And then I add a little bit, um, I just paint it until it's solid. So I'm going to add the little cartoony look to it just by putting a little dot in the eye on there. And I think this little mummy came out so cute. Couple little dots in the mouth. And then I thought, well, let's give it some, just a little bit extra because it was really white. And so I put some dots here and there. And then I made, little stripes going down to look like where the bandages connect. And there it is. All done. So now we're going to take some more of that floral foam. And let me tell you, that little knife thing is like the pull noodle cutter that I got from the Dollar Tree. I love it. It cuts the pool noodles super awesome, and it's good for any of this kind of stuff right there. So I just cut off a chunk, fill as much in there as I can to fill up some space so I don't, waste a whole bunch of moss. Besides, at this point, like, I was at the very bottom of my bag of moss and I didn't want to open a brand new one because once you open the bag, it starts to dry out. So I'm going to put some more hot glue right there on the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop the rest of this moss right there on the top. And I'm just going to kind of spread it out the best that I can. And so this one, we're going to go ahead and keep it real simple. We're just going to, it's only going to have 2 elements to it. But I think it's adorable and they're super cute. Together, it's a little a happy couple. Mr. Mummy and Frankensteina. It took me a second to remember. So this bat right here is from the Dollar Tree, and I just thought it would be cute to stick it in the top there. I'm going to add a little hot glue just to kind of keep it in its place. I don't want it to like get knocked over and it falls off. And then the little tail part, I kind of just shoved into the styrofoam that's underneath. And then this is the other tea light candle, and I am just going to cover it in hot glue to give it more of a realistic candle look with the drips. So you can either do this part or not. I just thought it was cute to add a little bit extra, a little extra to it. So now that it's on there and all dry, I am taking, yes, I know it's a black candle, but did I want to bring out the elements of the glue? Yes, I did. So I'm going to go around the whole candle and add just a light coat. I don't want it to be super like dark, but just a light coat over the hot glue to give it that drippy wax look. And then there we go. It's all done. Super cute. I love this. I love my little pair, my little Mr. Mummy and Frankensteina, and I hope you love it too. Let me know in the comments down below. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next one.